After two high-octane events in Atlanta, the championship chase resumes tonight in New England as Adam Anderson tries to lock up a series title and punch his ticket to World Finals 22. But will Camden Murphy defy the odds and make one last stand to lead Bakugan Dragonoid back to the top? Find out next on Monster Jam.
Oh, he got the save!
Beautiful! Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of the six-time world champion New England Patriots, tonight welcomes the stars of Stadium Championship Series Red. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Zombies Barry Musauer, and the spotlight is back on the Red Series, and the championship has solely come down to Adam Anderson and Camden Murphy. Barry, they've been 1-2 for most of the season, but when the tide shifted into Adam's favor, he has yet to look back.
No, and that's Adam's style. You know, once he's got you down, he's never going to look back. So it's really going to be interesting to see if Camden can even make up any ground.
We've been discussing Camden's slide through the latter part of the season. He still has a shot to win here tonight, but if you're Camden Murphy, what's your mentality going into tonight's event?
Just consistency, you know, keep doing what he's been doing. He knows he's got the talent set to be able to win an overall event championship. Problem is, Adam Anderson will probably be right there behind him, so he's not going to gain very many points.
And not to add any more fuel to the fire for Camden Murphy, but you got to be a little intimidated because since Monster Jam started running at Gillette Stadium, no driver has won more here than Adam Anderson. So a daunting task regardless of what his mental capacity is.
Yeah, let's just hope Camden does not know that stat because that could play mind games with him all night long.
And numbers don't lie, Barry. In the middle of the championship race, we are now joined by Gravediggers Adam Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid's Camden Murphy in this UNOH Pit Report. Adam, let's start with you. A year ago, you were the only Anderson to not win a series championship. Is that something that stuck with you at all throughout the season?
You know, not winning the series championship last year, it definitely kind of stuck with me, especially on the 40th anniversary year. So it did fuel my fire a little bit. I had some tough luck last year, and it really brought me down as far as mechanically on the track, and it bit me in the end. So this year, you know, with Geo behind me, pushing, you know, making sure the truck's 110%. I've been out there, and we've had some damage. We've had some tough luck. I've missed some events, especially in the very beginning of the season, but we were able to make a strong comeback.
Camden, you came out of the gate red hot. You held the series points lead for a good amount of time. What factors have gone into your slide out of that top spot throughout the season?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, this guy right here, I mean, honestly, he's one of the best of all time. So I knew it was going to be tough just going into the season in itself. So just trying to hold him back, Tom Mentz, and a couple of the other competitors too, I knew it was going to be a challenge. And if we could get that lead right off the bat and try to, you know, create a little bit of a gap to start the year, that was kind of a good way to go. But then we started having a little bit of troubles here and there, and I started messing up here and there, and it's all it takes. I mean, all it takes is just a couple weekends where you're not on it that these guys can catch you.
Adam, if you do win the series here tonight, will your focus immediately turn to World Finals and your efforts to win a sixth World Championship?
You know, absolutely. And I feel like this year I've actually, you know, I did strive. I actually pushed myself a little bit more than I have in the past couple years because I did want to get this series championship. But now it'll bring my focus onto the World Finals. I haven't got a you know, World Championship in a couple years, and I'm ready for another one. I don't know which event it may be in, but I want one.
Camden, finally, if you do fall short of the series championship, do you feel you've done enough to get invited to World Finals? And if so, what are your expectations in competing there?
Man, I always kind of tend to always come up short just this much with just about everything. So, you know, I mean, all in all, it's been an amazing year. You know, I hate to lose, don't get me wrong, but, you know, if it comes down to it and Adam does take the championship, you know, I'd like to think that I put up a good fight. I mean, again, against some really, really tough competitors, and I haven't been doing this very long, so I'm just really glad and fortunate to be here representing Bakugan and Spin Master and just to be on this stage. So, you know, it's going to be a tough one, right? And I'm just looking forward to seeing how this last night can go. I mean, we almost caught up last weekend in Atlanta, or our last event, and then I messed up on Sunday night. So, you know, it's just kind of how it's going. But I hope I can get that one slot there at the World Finals.
Thank you, gentlemen, and best of luck to both of you tonight. Right now, let's take a look at the tale of the tape. It's been an epic battle between Camden Murphy, Adam Anderson all season long. You look at these numbers, Bari, the only advantage for Camden is in skills, but ultimately the most important number is the season points, where Adam leads by 40. So it's been a dominant year for Gravedigger.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Camden, he's really got to push hard to really overcome those stats right there, and it's going to be really intense here in Foxborough.
Here are the current season points standings. I mentioned the 40-point lead for Adam Anderson. Camden Murphy, Bari, did lose 5 points in Philadelphia, which ultimately has led Adam an opportunity here to clinch, so every point truly does matter.
It does, and it really matters because there's a lot of competitors here that are still wanting to win, so it's important for everybody to have a good night.
And let's take a look at those competitors. 10 other drivers looking to knock Gravedigger and Bakugan Dragonoid out. Who do you like here in Foxborough?
I've really had my eye on Kayla Blood because she's really been consistent lately. She's got her eye on the prize when it comes to that Soldier Fortune truck, and she's not afraid of these guys out here.
Drivers will compete in 3 competitions tonight: racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and freestyle. Points will be awarded based on finish. The winner earns 12, and the driver with the most points at the end of the event is crowned the overall event champion. Up first tonight will be racing. In round 1, it's going to be El Toro Loco versus Kraken, Max D, Great Clips Mohawk, Warrior, Soldier Fortune, Vendetta, Black Pearl, and Jester. Gravedigger, Bakugan Dragonoid, Megalodon, and Velociraptor get the first round buys. Bari, who do you like in round 1?
Man, I'm looking at that Max D and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior matchup. Bryce is right there, and so is Tom. So those two are really going to be edging out for that win.
And Tom could use a racing win here late in the season. Now let's head to the track for the first racing matchup of the night. Jamie Gardner, El Toro Loco, up against Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Jamie does have 1 win in Anaheim. Nick struggled a little bit in racing, but 2-1 against Jamie. So he's got those numbers, he's got the victories, and he does have the confidence here in round 1. And we are off and running here in Foxborough. And Kraken trying to get out of the berm first. They go around once, now they got to go around again. Up high goes El Toro Loco, and we are about even at the halfway point.
This is a very dry, slick track. You can see the dust trail kicking up from both competitors. Jamie's in a little trouble there. He got out of shape. Let's see what he can do around this last turn, though.
Final corner here, El Toro Loco goes wide. Kraken trying to go tight, and a late push by Nick Pagliarulo gives him the win, 26.269, and Kraken will advance. Next up in round 1, the 14-time World Finals champion Tom Meents and Max D against Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk. Warrior, you talked about this matchup. Going to be a tough one here for both competitors. Bryce with a better racing record this year, and right now it is Great Clips Mohawk. Warrior with the advantage. Bryce Kenny gets onto the outside part of the track first.
Wow, it looked like Tom was a little bit behind, but that charge out of the bowl, it really went to the advantage of Max D. As you can see, he's over that ramp first. And Bryce had a little bobble too, so let's see if he can catch up. I don't know.
Bryce Kenny struggling. Tom Meents almost goes off the ramp. He's able to correct it, and he gets the win. 26.101 moves Max D into round 2. Next up, Kayla Blood in Soldier Fortune up against Mike Christensen in Vendetta. Kayla Blood comes in 16-20, trying to get close to that 500, but Mike 2 wins versus Kayla, and here we go. Roosting that dirt here on the inside part of that bowl. Out again we go, and it's going to be Kayla Blood out first. Mike Christensen goes too high.
She took a different approach inside. She actually led with front steering only, and the best turn so far coming over that gray ramp. Let's see if she can close this race out over the red ramp.
Vendetta struggling to get around the track. Kayla Blood, Soldier Fortune, gets up over the ramp, and she will take the win. Let's go to the original super glue, glued to the action replay.
Kayla navigated that first turn perfectly, which set her up for a great race. Anytime you can do a turn perfectly like she did, you have confidence throughout the race, and it shows as she crossed the finish line.
It's time for a final round 1 matchup. It's Colvinard and the Black Pearl up against Matt Pagliarulo in Chester. Colvinard been off and on, hot and cold in racing so far this season, but he does have 2 racing competition wins. We'll see what kind of fight Matt Pagliarulo can put up here in round 1. And here we go. Winner will advance into the second round. And Chester going way up high across the inside part of the bowl, and he goes all kinds of sideways onto the pod. That opens it up for the Black Pearl.
Yes, Matt Pagliarulo was all over the place, and you can definitely tell that it's very slick out there. The dust is really kicking up here in Foxborough, which is kind of uncharacteristic for a Monster Jam track, but Cole Bernard is putting on a clinic here right now.
Taking the truck inside across the race ramp, Black Pearl finishes it off with a time of 26.610. Cole Bernard moves on. In round 2, it'll be Gravedigger versus Kraken, Bakugan Dragonoid against Max D, Megalodon Soldier Fortune, and Velociraptor versus the Black Pearl. 4 open spots in the semifinal round await. Coming up, Adam Anderson is looking for his 9th racing win. Can he get it done? Gravedigger hits the track next. We are back in Foxborough for round 2 of racing. And the series points leader, Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, will square up against former Rookie of the Year, Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Nick had a great round 1 matchup, but anytime you look across from Adam Anderson, you know you got to have your best race of the year.
Yes, and from a technical standpoint, Kraken has the Generation 2 BKT tires, whereas Adam has Generation 4 BKT tires. So on a slick track like this, it's definitely going to yield an advantage to Gravedigger.
Adam has 3 racing wins. Here's his 2015 back when he was a Gravedigger, the legend, trying to make it 4.
Very close right off the bat, though.
Adam Anderson drifts it, nice corner there, gets across the race ramp and over the finish line on this side of the track. He's got to do it one more time, though, Barry.
And you see the traction pays off. As I mentioned before, Adam Anderson is across the finish line for the win.
There you go, Gravedigger with a great run. Let's take a look at the original Super Glue, glued to the action replay.
Nick was running a good race up until this moment. He got a little crossed up and was tangling with that turn box. You don't want to do that. It kills all your momentum.
Adam Anderson consistent all the way around the track. He moves on. Next up in round 2, it's Tom Mentz and Max D against Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. Tom did have the fastest time in round 1, but Camden gets lane choice through the bye run, and with Adam Anderson advancing, this is a must-win situation for Camden Murphy.
This is a crucial race for Camden, maybe one of the most important ones of the season if he's going to have any chance at fighting for that overall championship for the season.
It's the 3rd time they've met this season. They both have a win. Camden really tight around the far side of the track. And it is Camden Murphy with a slight lead here going into that final corner. This is where Tom excelled last round, and he's got a good lane here. Camden, though, makes a push and gets it done, so he is still alive here in the chase for the title. Take a look at the replay.
Wow, Tom and Camden really ran great races. They had great times on this pass. Tom maybe washed out just a little bit right there, but Camden kept it nice and tight. Look, he's almost looks like he's going to hit that turn box, but he skated right past it, kept his momentum up. Great finish for Camden.
24.719. Next up, 2-time World Finals champion Todd the Duke in Megalodon against Kayla Blood in Soldier Fortune. Kayla leads Todd by 4 in the season point standings for 5th, and we know from a driver's standpoint, finishing 5th is way better than finishing 6th.
Absolutely, and it looks like Kayla is riding that confidence high right now after her first round win because she toasted that Megalodon out of the bowl.
I like that. Toasted. Toasted shark on the track. Here we come into that final corner. Todd is gaining steam here. Into the straightaway we go. Kayla Blood, though, from start to finish, had it done. Soldier Fortune moves on. Take a look at the replay.
Wow, she nearly escaped a penalty on that last jump. It looked like she got the front 2 BKT tires on the ramp. As you can see, Todd is really, he kind of struggled out of that bowl, which gave Kayla an early lead.
25.345 gets it done. Our final round 2 matchup features Cole Bernard in the Black Pearl up against Travis Mowry in Velociraptor. Travis, a phenomenal year in racing, 25-17 with a win in Jacksonville, but Cole has had his number, taking 3 out of 4. We'll see if Travis can make it here out of round 2. Our final matchup in this round. Here we go up across the top side of the berm, and it is Cole Bernard with the advantage as they come out here again. Black Pearl still in the lead.
2 different approaches coming out of that inner bowl. Black Pearl went really tight, close to the turn pods, whereas Velociraptor was kind of up on the berm, so he had a lot more ground to make up there.
It is hard to beat Cole Bernard any given night. Hard to beat him, though, when you're trailing from start to finish, and Black Pearl gets it done. Here's the original Super Glue, glued to the action replay.
See, it looked like Travis kind of lost some momentum here. He went up way wide on the berm, which caused Cole Bernard to really take advantage of it.
Cole looking very good here in the Black Pearl as he's taken advantage now twice in this racing bracket, and he will move on. Camden Murphy with the fastest time of the night so far in round 2 will meet Adam Anderson, so the series will be on the line there, possibly, and Kayla Blood faces off with Cole Bernard, who has lane choice in that race. So with the series coming down to the wire in the semifinals, it's Anderson versus Murphy, and it's next on Monster Jam. We are back at Gillette Stadium where we've reached the semifinal round in racing. And our next race, Barry, could possibly be for all the chips, all the marbles, and the series title. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger, pulling up to the line, and he will meet Camden Murphy in Bakugan Dragonoid. A win here gives Adam a little more space, and a loss here for Camden really could put him very far out of reach that title.
Yeah, this is going to be crucial for the both of them. A lot more pressure, though, is on Camden Murphy's shoulders. It looks like he got the whole shot, though.
Adam 3-2 versus Camden this season in head-to-head racing.
Look at the approach from Camden. He leads with the rear steer all the time around these round tracks. It looks like he's running a pretty good race so far. Adam is out wide, really wide.
Pretty close here as they reach the chalk line into the final corner. Camden Murphy needs this must-win situation going to the finish, and Camden Murphy gets it done. Here is the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Wow, it is so hard to be on rails on a slick, dusty track like this, and Camden Murphy is doing it. I mean, this is tough. Even Adam Anderson is washing out there, countersteering. But as you can see here, look how on rails Camden Murphy is around that turn.
We saw that again last round. It looks like he's going to come into that turn pot and clip it, but he goes just wide of it by inches and makes it count. Our final race this round is Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune up against Covenard in Black Pearl. They both started in round one, so they're both 2-0 on the night. Somebody's got to lose, though, and it's going to be either Caleb Blood or Covenard, and it is their second meeting of the year. Caleb Blood won the first.
All right, Kayla lined up a little crooked on the starting line, and she clipped that turn box. Let's see if that's going to hurt her. She didn't really bobble, so it looks like a pretty even race. Oh, Kayla's spinning out just a little bit over there.
Well, Colt did clip the pot as well. We want to talk about great corners. He had it up until then, and he goes into that final turn. He slows down, though. Something going on with Black Pearl, and Caleb Blood comes from behind out of nowhere. Take a look at the replay.
Man, that's why you finish the race. You never get up. You see the Black Pearl engine is backfiring there, and he loses power. So something happened to the Black Pearl. I don't know if the timing changed on the motor, but it definitely gave him 0 horsepower and allowed Kayla to catch up.
He had it won, but Caleb Blood ultimately finishes out, so it's going to be Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid up against Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune in the final round. Camden comes in 22-16 with 4 wins. Caleb Blood 19-20. Camden is 3-1 versus Kayla. Some deep stage action going on. What's going through your mind as a driver when you're that far back and you see your opponent across the other side?
You just have to stay cool, calm, and collected. You have to run your own race at any given moment because you don't want to make a mistake. If you can run a clean race, I always say, even if I lose, I'll take a clean race with no mistakes any day.
Camden Murphy waits a little bit, gets to the line, and here we go. Final race here in Foxborough. And Camden Murphy looks like he's got an advantage here over Caleb Blood and is by about a truck length here, Barry.
Yeah, he's on rails in that inner bowl and on the outside, and it's pretty impressive to watch him navigate this dusty track, because this is no easy feat to control 1,500 horsepower on a dusty track like this.
And he knows what's at stake. Caleb Blood goes a little sideways, doesn't matter. Camden Murphy had it won. Take a look at the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
You see those fans? They were having a great time. I feel like they might be Camden Murphy fans because he was on rails again. I can't say it enough. He's so consistent tonight on these race passes, but no slouch. Caleb Blood, I called it earlier. I said I had my eye on her, and she made it all the way to the final round.
All that was missing from those fans were those popcorn buckets on there.
Yes.
So a great win for Camden Murphy, 24.551 gets it done. And he's going to add 12 points here and start off on top of the BKT overall point standings. Caleb Blood is 1 behind Adam Anderson, 2 off. Covenard in 4th, and Tom Metz currently in 5th. Next up in Foxborough was the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge. In this competition, drivers had the option to attempt 2 maneuvers on 2 wheels, or they could do a donut. Fans in attendance were judging based on creativity, wow factor, and execution. Let's take a look back at our top 5. Coming in 5th, Kraken's Nick Pagliarulo gets this nose wheelie, and then he takes it all the way out and brings it back into a moonwalk.
It's always crazy to watch these trucks approach the trucks that are in the pits, but man, Nick navigated that perfectly.
In 4th place, after his racing win, Camden Murphy gets a popper, turns it into a stoppie, and he goes back for a moonwalk as well.
It's always interesting to see if Camden has the control to not rip that Bakugan hood off as he exits that ramp. Let's see if he can hold it on. No, he scraped it, but the fans love a little carnage. He lost his nose there.
In third, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. He goes out with a nose wheelie moonwalk combo as well.
Anytime you can continually be consistent in this competition, it really sets the tone for the night. Here, you know, the overall event championship can be won or lost in the Great Clip Skills Championship, and really shows that Bryce Kenny has got his eye on the prize tonight. That was great, backing it all the way off the pop.
In second place, Todd the Duke with a bicycle and a sidewall save in Megalodon.
Wow, that's about as far over as you can go without going all the way over.
And check out the winning run here from Gravedigger's Adam Anderson going in a donut action.
Now, Adam Anderson is going to get dust in everybody's popcorn tonight because this is a cyclone, and I'm telling you, he probably would have still kept going if they wouldn't have stopped him.
Interesting choice to come out here and do a donut, but it was the right choice for him. It pays off trying to keep the truck in one piece for Freestyle. Gets it done with the win and some much needed points there for Adam Anderson. It's his 4th career skills win in Foxborough, and he gets the 12 points with the win as we take a look at our second BKT overall point standings of the night. 22 for Adam Anderson. He's on top. Camden Murphy 1 off. Todd the Duke and Caleb Blood tied in that 3rd spot, and Bryce Kenny and Dick Pagliarulo 8 off the lead. With one competition remaining, Adam Anderson and Camden Murphy are battling for the event and the series. Who will come out on top? Find out next. You're watching round 23 of the 2023 Monster Jam season at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Corey Adam Anderson now in position to close out the championship tonight. After our first 2 competitions, he sits 1 point above Camden Murphy coming into Freestyle. He has a 41-point series lead, so we do some numbers here. All he needs is a 5th place finish or better to win the title. Does he get it done?
I think so, but I definitely don't expect Adam to give a 5th place freestyle. He's going out there Gravedigger style, vintage Gravedigger for the win, almost like a celebratory freestyle is what I'm looking for out of Adam Anderson.
And what about Camden Murphy? What do you expect from him?
Camden's just going to have to roll the dice. He's really got nothing to lose at this point, and hopefully maybe something magical happens and he comes out on top.
Catch you up on the BKT overall point standings coming into Freestyle. Adam Anderson with 22, Camden 1 behind, Tyler Duke, Caleb Blood 4 off the lead, and Bryce Kenny and Nick Pagliarulo 8 off the overall event leader. As we take a look at the freestyle order, we do have some breaking news. Black Pearl will not compete due to that blown motor in racing, and Max D also out due to a fuel system issue. That's going to give Bryce Kenny a good shot to get closer to that 3rd position in the series point standings. Now, there are 2 other drivers with a realistic shot at the event championship here, Todd the Duke and Kayla Blood. They're still battling for 5th in points. Now, Bori, Todd's going to go out 5th. Kayla is going to go out afterwards in that 9th spot. Who has the best shot to compete with Adam and Camden here?
It's definitely Todd. Anytime you can go before your competitor, set that bar really high, they have to match it and even exceed it to even get a better score than you. So I give the nod to Todd.
And we know Todd does not want to finish 6th in the series points. He wants that 5th spot badly. Well, let's get it going here at Gillette Stadium. We're going to kick things off with Matt Pagliarulo in Jester. Front clip there off Jester, runs right into the jammer, the backside of that ramp. See sparks flying, comes right into just a brick wall and goes up. So a great look there at those front shocks, rocking this just delayed out. And we've seen Matt do some amazing freestyles. He does have that 1 career win back in Tampa a few years ago. When the truck is cooperating, he is able to let this thing fly, let it go wide open, and get some big air in this truck. We've seen it happen before. I'd love to see it again tonight to kick off the competition.
Yes, and this dirt here, I want to touch on it. It's really dry and it's dusty, so there's a lot of room out here to just let the truck hang out wide open. You got a lot of drifting opportunities here where you don't have to worry about the truck hiking up. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up his momentum like that.
We just saw Matt go for the transfer jump onto the pod, came off a little far to the right, had to brake check. Now getting some air over the cars, now back on the near side track as he tries to turn it here. Matt out of Deltona, Florida, the leader of Tomfoolery Motorsports, going up for the backflip, and he is going to land it. That is an absolute textbook backflip, and the first one for the fans tonight.
That's great. First truck out to hit the backflip, that means everybody has got to hit the backflip or some kind of wow factor to even compete with a score like this.
Maybe a slap wheelie here, comes right off into a bicycle, though. Combo move, great catch.
Man, I thought he was a goner there for a second, but great composure to work it into a slight donut. and he's got good momentum. Let's see if he can close out this last 10 seconds strong.
And you know, was being told on the headset, you're running out of time, just don't do anything crazy, just get a donut in there. And he does that. Great run to start the night off. Let's take a look at the original super glue glued to the action replay.
Anytime you can go early and get that backflip under your belt, and then it lets all the competitors behind you know, oh, the backflip ramp's a good ramp tonight. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna go for that same side.
But out next, riding for Team Throttle Monster, Travis Mowry in Velociraptor. This is his first start here at Gillette Stadium. Travis has had a phenomenal year in the racing competition. Freestyle, he has fallen a little short. His average is only 8th on the series. What do you attribute that to?
It's gotta be consistency. He's probably had some really high moments, but a lot of low moments as well. So if he can kind of meet somewhere in the middle, his average will go up. Being able to just complete the time is definitely something that Travis is gonna have to do.
Let's talk about Travis's resume a little bit. Came into Monster Jam crewing for Todd the Duke and Matt Byton on the Minimal Militia team. Phenomenal team, won World Finals Championship. They are moved on to Natural Disaster Racing with Tim Mente, where he got an opportunity to drive. Went to work for his now father-in-law, Darren Miguez, in TK Motorsports, and now the opportunity to ride for one of the biggest, if not the biggest, independent team in Monster Jam, Team Throttle Monster. Travis has been all over the map.
And this Velociraptor truck is probably one of the most state-of-the-art trucks that he's driven in his career. The metal shop chassis is under him, so you know he's got a good piece of equipment. Team Throttle Monster makes tons of horsepower with the power plants they put in their trucks, so he's got the right equipment. He just got to put all that power to the ground and really go out here and thrash the Velociraptor for a whole freestyle.
Fans have seen a backflip already, courtesy of Matt Pagliarulo. Nice brake check there for Travis Mowry. Another one on the floater across the center pod. Running out of time here across the backside of that berm. It becomes a jammer here in freestyle. And here comes the backflip for Travis Mowry. We're going 2 for 2 here, Bari. And he comes a little short, but he lands it. So a great catch and a nice landing back on all 4 BKT tires.
All right, he's got 10 seconds to throw caution to the wind. That's a great transfer jump there. Maybe one more move in him, and that's gonna be it for Velociraptor. Can he make it count?
Deep side of the track, that'll do it. Great run here. Take a look at the original super glue to the action replay.
The approach was a little slow, but he was able to maintain composure, bounce off the front 2 BKT tires just a little bit, pops in reverse, and off to the races he goes.
Matt Pagliarulo has Jester out in front. Will it lead to his 2nd career win? Find out when Freestyle continues next. Welcome back to round 23 in Foxborough. Earlier today, thousands of Monster Jam fans took over the pit party where they met the drivers and took pictures with the trucks. It's always a lot of fun, so make sure you attend the pit party at your next Monster Jam event. Now, moments ago, Jamie Garner took El Toro Loco for a spin, and he would fill the clock and earn a score of 7.161. And now we can jump back into the action with a series on the line. Here comes Camden Murphy in Bakugan Dragonoid.
All right, this is the moment of truth for Camden because the stakes are high right now. And Bakugan Dragonoid, if there was ever a time for the truck to stay 100% underneath Camden Murphy's right foot, it's right now.
Trails by 1 for the event lead, trails by 41 for the series lead. He's got 2 freestyle wins already this season. A 3rd one here would go a long way to keep him in this championship race. 8.402 is the score to beat. Camden Murphy looking for something big, maybe a sky wheelie, but this dirt is mounding up now. We've seen the 2nd time a driver has hit a brick wall into that dirt mound.
Wow, he had a great maneuver coming out the bat, and I don't know what happened there. He kind of got out of rhythm. Something looks like it's gone awry. Oh, you can see the dejection.
He is frustrated, man. The series could have just went bye-bye for Camden Murphy. Take a look at the replay.
It's a great combination move into a little slap wheelie, which gets him up on the pod with the front tires and kicks the back tires up. Man, tough break for Camden.
I've never seen Camden Murphy throw a steering wheel. A driver I have seen throw a steering wheel or two is this guy, Todd the Duke, the 2-time World Finals champion in Megalodon.
Let's see if Todd can fill the clock with something Camden was unable to do, which is what you have to do to be able to compete with any type of high score in Monster Jam Freestyle. Todd's recipe is a lot different from a lot of different people. He starts off kind of slow, and he builds the momentum to the end, almost like a crescendo at the end of his freestyle. Watch out for that wall protection, though. He's lucky the officials didn't shut him off right there.
Big air there for Todd the Duke, maybe the biggest jump of the night so far. Lands it right on the pod, and then tiptoes back up over the near side berm. Todd the Duke fighting for that 5th spot with Caleb Blood, but I think probably for the first time in his career, Todd the Duke is fighting for a World Finals spot, and he might get it if he lands this here and wins freestyle. Up over the backflip ramp, a little slow roll, but he lands it nonetheless. Incredible move there, an incredible way to pick the back end of that truck up. I thought he was done.
Let me just point out something. The time frame that Todd attacked that backflip ramp, he still had 55 seconds to go before he landed the truck, so he's got a lot of time to let caution just hang out the window and really go big from here on out. Because after a wow factor like that backflip, you got to put the pedal to the metal.
And now we've seen 3 backflips tonight, so Todd's a little different, went a little lower, was able to get the truck all the way around. As time now running out, we might see a LeDuc leap here. He's going for a bicycle instead, trying to get the truck up. The right side is up, and he's got a great one, and he takes it around, trying to get a cyclone.
Wow, what great confidence Todd is driving with here tonight. He feels like he can probably put that Megalodon truck wherever he needs it to go. He's into a donut here to close out his freestyle. Man, this probably might take the lead.
Let's take a look at the original super glue glued to the action replay.
Perfect positioning here on the backflip. He really didn't get much air on it. It was a safe backflip, but he had a great technical maneuvers like this bicycle and mixed it in with some great wow factors, some big air, and of course the donut to close it out.
Yeah, went a little low. It paid off. He has the lead now, 9.090, as Todd the Duke takes the lead. Now it's time for the action of the week, and for that, we join the International Series in Johannesburg, South Africa. Charlie Bakugan heading for the backflip ramp to try to get one of his own.
Whoa.
Way too wide. He's going to spin it around again. A back-to-back flip there for Charlie.
You know, this is one of the loudest stadiums you'll ever compete in when it comes to Monster Jam, and Charlie Bakugan just made thousands of new fans across the sea.
That's Charlie Bakugan with this round's action of the week. Megalodon has the freestyle lead, but can he hang on? We'll find out next when Monster Jam continues. Welcome back to Gillette Stadium. This is round 23 with Stadium Championship Series Red. And moments ago, Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken had a great effort, but mechanical issues would plague him throughout the run, and he would only get a 5.622. Now out of Curtisville, North Carolina, here comes Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And I touched on this earlier with Tom Mentz not competing in freestyle. This is a great opportunity, Barry, for Bryce to make a run at that 3rd position in the series point standings.
Absolutely. Bryce knows exactly what he needs to do. What a great maneuver here. I've been waiting for somebody to nail that maneuver. It's really tough to do, to maintain your composure in the middle of a freestyle when you know the clock is counting down. So he's back on, and I know he's going to go full throttle on every jump from here on out.
It's Bryce's 4th appearance in Foxborough, but we've had a who's who of drivers pilot the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Prior to that, George Ballhand, BJ Johnson, and Camden Murphy, one of those drivers who stepped behind this truck before Bryce Kenny took over. He's got a freestyle win in Atlanta, where he also took the overall event, and now trying to climb through this dirt here. This dirt, I've never seen anything like it this season. This dirt looks incredibly rough for these drivers.
Yeah, it looks very slick all night long. It really hasn't held very much moisture. I noticed on that last transfer, the one right before he just did, Bryce came up a little short on the transfer. Let's watch that on this backflip attempt.
Right here for the backflip, goes for it, whips the truck around, lands hard on the right, but lands it nonetheless, and he's got room, and he's got time for more.
Looks like the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior is still 100%. Let's look at his landing. Nailed it.
Huge off the pod, across the far side of the track, over the berm. Now whips it around, hard turn donut. We've seen a lot of donuts on this deep side of the track. There's a lot of space, and with time winding down, throw in another move, get the crowd going, and he's got a good one going right here. Bryce Kenny throwing one down. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Wow, that run was so action-packed, Scott. The time seemed to fly by. I mean, he had so much momentum carried, and then with that cyclone at the end, you can't but love the sound of that 1,500 horsepower motor singing for more than 10 seconds at a time. It's only unique here in Monster Jam.
8.592, maybe a little low. Megalodon continues on as the leader. Next up at Ogden, Utah, Mike Christensen in Vendetta, his 2nd appearance in Foxborough.
Yeah, it looks like Vendetta is making a whole lot of horsepower out here tonight here in Foxborough. I love the look of the truck. It's different. The chassis is red, as opposed to a lot of the trucks on the Toro have a black chassis, so this truck tends to stand out a lot.
Nice jump early on here. Almost clipped the back two wheels. That would have sent the truck up and maybe into chaos mode. But Mike Christensen able to accelerate and get it down at just the right spot. Comes back far side of the track, going for another one. Nice air, little floater jump, back on all fours, sticks the landing.
Vendetta has historically always seemed like it lands so well, which almost sometimes can be a disadvantage because the truck looks like it effortlessly just lands, whereas sometimes that extra bounce will give you that wow factor that's unexpected and maybe put you into a bicycle. You never know. You might be able to just have to save the truck, but this truck looks like it's working great.
And Mike looks like he is methodically taking over this track. It looks like every one of his moves and his lanes have been premeditated here.
That's the approach I like to take, because anytime you know where you're going, you don't have to think about what's my next move going to be. Great slap wheelie, by the way. One of my signature moves that I learned from Charlie Pauken early on in my career. So it's great to see Mike still implementing some of those older moves in Monster Jam.
Now coming close to the near side of the track, over to the backflip side. We'll see if he goes for it. Everybody's getting a backflip today. And here goes Vendetta. And he is going to land it on one and sticks it back up on the wheelie bar. And a combo move from Mike Christensen.
Oh, man, I love it. Those are those unplanned moments where you don't know what the truck is going to give you, but now he's got the crowd buzzing. Let's see if he can close this out strong.
Trying to be that 9.090. Goes across the race lane over the ramp. And now trying to find something, maybe a wow moment here to tip the score in his favor. And that'll do it. Take a look at the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
This is a great positioning here on this backflip. A little low, and it kind of twisted him, but he was able to maintain composure, hit the brakes, and it got the truck to rock back on those back two BKT tires. Wow, look at the score, Scott.
9.101, so Mike Christensen takes the lead. Here's your current freestyle leaderboard. Todd the Duke drops to second, Bryce Kenny third, Matt Pagliarulo in fourth, and Travis Mowry in fifth. Coming up, the event championship is still up for grabs, and the series could be clinched when freestyle continues next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to Stadium Championship Series Red, the event championship up for grabs. And one of the drivers in the hunt is Kayla Blood. She's one of the best pure athletes in Monster Jam, and we were able to spend some time with her at home. Take a look.
I'm Kayla Blood, and welcome to my life off the track. My hometown is full of life. Lafayette is the Cajun capital of the world. We're minutes away from the water and minutes away from the motocross track in downtown. It is the perfect balance of city and country. Life on the road can get pretty chaotic, so it's always nice to come home, rewind, reset, spend time with my little boy, and enjoy the family at home. We're still a motocross family, so we're still out on the track competing. And so whenever the weekend comes and we're able to load up the RV and head to the motocross track, we really enjoy going out there and just relaxing. If we're not on the track, we're on the water, in the boat, fishing, enjoying the sun, being out in the middle of the ocean. I absolutely enjoy every bit of it. Whether it be my ATV or our boat, running Lucas Oil products is vital to the life and longevity of all of our equipment. I'm Kayla Blood, and I run Lucas Oil.
Kayla Blood can seemingly drive anything on two wheels, four wheels, and in the water. And now, Bari, she's going to try to drive Soldier Fortune to victory. She trails Adam by fourth, the event lead. Todd the Duke currently in second in freestyle. So to stay in the hunt, she needs to at least finish higher than Todd to have a chance at the event championship.
All right, Todd put her in a tough predicament because Todd is sitting number 2 right now, and Kayla's going to have to bring it. And she's off to a great start. Whoa, a little rebound there on the back tires, but she maintained composure very well. Let's see if she can move on to a great next. Looks like she's hitting this transfer jump again.
Big time air for Kayla Blood. Gets it down a little wonky on the landing, but she's able to get a wheelie over the berm and come back around. 2 freestyle wins on the season, 1 in Anaheim and 1 in Philly. That's the score to beat, 9.101. And again, another donut as she tries to make her way over to the pod again, over the single log and cross threads over the pod.
Whoa, nice little save there. This track is very slick, and it looks like Kayla's applying the power, and it's just, the track is not holding it whatsoever. Here she is for the backflip.
Sky's Soldier Fortune, and right back on the wheelie bar again, trying to do what Vendetta did. Unfortunately, too much momentum and over-rotated. Take a look at the replay.
It's so easy to over-rotate one of these backflips because these trucks have so much horsepower, and you really don't need it all on a backflip in modern-day Monster Jam. Tough break there for Kayla.
Well, as they say, business about to pick up. Our final competitor, 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. As far as the event championship goes, he needs to finish 5th or better to win it. Otherwise, it goes to Todd LeDuc. And as it stands right now, as long as Adam qualifies for a score, he will clinch the series championship. So this may be the most important 30 seconds of Adam's career.
For sure. That's why you saw Camden Murphy so frustrated earlier when he didn't get to finish his run. Adam is really no pressure now. He can just ride into the sunset with Gravedigger here tonight in Foxborough as long as the truck stays under.
And he has completed that 30 seconds, so it seems to be in the bag unofficially right now, but trying for the event championship. He's got 3 overall event wins here in Foxborough. No freestyle wins, which is 1 less than you had. You got a freestyle win here. That was one of your 9 last year. Now you got 1 this year. What's the more epic slide, Camden Murphy or your freestyle wins, Bari? I'm asking.
You know what? I tried to be consistent all year, and I actually finished higher than I did last year in the overall championship points. So I'm excited. I say that's a victory. And, I'll take my 1 freestyle win this year.
I don't have many opportunities to roast you. I'm just giving you one. Now back on the track, Adam Anderson trying to roast everybody here in Foxborough. Right over the race ramp, some big air over the chalk line. Bounces Gravedigger again. Now over by the backflip ramp. He's coming in hot. Doesn't even hit the brakes. Goes up for it. Hits it on the bounce. Almost had a moonwalk there, it looked like. Maybe walking the plank as well. But he has got this thing rolling. And now Gravedigger in that ragged edge across the pod.
Man, Adam Anderson's just having fun at this point. He landed that backflip, and now it's nothing but full throttle madness.
Again, cross-threading over the berm on the far side, and Gravedigger into a cyclone, and he's got the save. What a way to finish the run. What a way to finish his series championship dreams, as he's gonna take it and maybe even the freestyle win. Crowd is going nuts here. Take a look at the original superglue glued to the action replay.
Yes, that's what I call throwing caution to the wind. After this spectacular backflip, which he landed perfectly, he hit this jump wide open, and you see the truck kind of twisted in the air. That's what caused this rebound, but he saved it. He got a good bit of throttle there, enough momentum to carry the truck back on over. Man, what a great night for Adam Anderson.
Adam gets his 9th freestyle win of the season. As you take a look at our final top 5, Vendetta 2nd, Megalodon 3rd, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior 4th, and Jester in 5th. Adam gets 12 points with a win as we look at our final BKT overall point standings of the night. That's enough for his 4th career overall event championship in Foxborough. Todd LeDuc will finish in 2nd. Caleb Blood and Camden Murphy sit at 25. Bryce Kenny rounding out the top 5. And Adam Anderson, Bari, is going to walk out of here as the Series Red champion.
Wow, look at his competitors helping him celebrate. He's even got glitter, and Camden Murphy's probably taking out his aggressions with that bottle of champagne right there.
It wasn't our last event, but it felt like it today. The pressure's off. We went out there, we did okay in racing. You know, Camden Murphy knocked us out. Then we go out there, killed it in skills, took home the win. Next up was freestyle. And once again, my main man here talked me through it, and we were able to take the win, which led us to this right here. We got the championship, baby, and it's all because of this guy right here and all his hard work and me hanging onto the wheel.
That's all the time we have from Foxborough. Next up for Stadium Series Red, we close out the season at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. And for Bari Musauer, I'm Scott Jordan. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.